Hello everybody, welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias at the door. And we are here for dearly departed game week 6, round 6 fixture review. If you're new here, dearly departed deals with the teams that escaped my realm of the Championship and are now playing their trade in the Premier League, but we're still going to follow them this season. I am, of course, talking about Villa, Sheffield United, Leeds, West Brom and Fulham. And we are going to have a look at their weekend of games, a little bit stretched out given that the first one was on Friday and the last one was on Monday night. And I'm now filming on Tuesday, but it's nice just to get the whole thing sort of under that umbrella done each and every week. And each and every week, our fan sponsor for this show is our friend Jay Coyle, who says dearly departed, also known as Ben, couldn't bear to lose us, marching on together, something like that. And we need to give a super shout out to Jay because it's his birthday tomorrow. So if you've got Jay on Twitter, go and wish him a happy birthday for tomorrow. And thank you, Jay, as ever, for your sponsorship of these dearly departed shows. Right. Here are our dearly departed results. And because we have a dearly departed derby, there's only 4 games to look at this week. It was on Friday night, Aston Villa 0, Leeds 3, Fulham 1, Crystal Palace 2 on Saturday. And then late on Saturday evening was Liverpool 2, Sheffield United 1. And on the watch along last night on pay-per-view, Brighton 1, West Brom 1. So 3 points for Leeds, defeat for Villa, a draw for West Brom, and more defeats for Fulham and Sheffield United. Let's first of all go to Aston Villa 0, Leeds 3. And the first thing I need to say about this is, because I couldn't get to see this game, I did a review already on Saturday morning. There it is. So if you want a 22-minute review of that game and what it means, please head over to that other video. Just scroll down on my channel if you're already here, or just type in Aston Villa 0 Leeds 3 review and reaction, and it will pop up. That was my detailed thoughts. We'll just do a little précis now that the weekend is over and the dust has settled, and in the context of the other dearly departed games. But very impressive win for Leeds. Villa, remember, had won 4 on the bounce, and Leeds went there. They conceded a few chances, but in the end really were good value for their win, which was given to them much in part due to the hat-trick in the second half by Bamford. Remember, Leeds were going there without star central midfielder Calvin Phillips and Liam Cooper injured at the back there. So a quick look at the Leeds team shows us that Luke Ayling came across from right back to play centre back. Stuart Dallas went from left back to right back, and Alioski comes in at left back. And then Bielsa dealt with the central midfield issues in a few different ways. It started off with Struijk sat in front, but he didn't last the game. Look, Shackleton comes in, and then, look, as I say, I didn't see the whole game, but my Leeds friends have told me that then Click comes back, and other 79 as well. Hernandez then ends up coming in for Rodrigo to end the game. So look, several different permutations in the central midfield from Bielsa. But as ever, Harrison down the left, Costa down the right, Rodrigo, central midfield basically off Bamford. In terms of Aston Villa, much more stable, no injury problems, and they've worked their way into this formation and this team that looks really nice and had won them 4 straight games. Martinez, Cash Konza Ming's target, McGinn sitting with Louise, which allows Barkley to come next to Grealish and Trezeguet to help out. Grealish as the chief threat there with Watkins up top. Let's have a look at the numbers. We won't go through all of the action. I did that in the review. Leeds there, you can see, taking the lead on 55, and then Bamford on 67 and 74. I have extolled the virtues of this brilliant hat-trick already on the other video. This was a hat-trick that in part owed to team and pattern of play, particularly on the first goal, but with the second 2 goals was a bit of an individual show of brilliance, frankly, from Bamford. I remember growing up watching football and watching Ian Rush play for Liverpool. He'd score hat-tricks of 3 tap-ins that were all pattern of play. Or actually, I remember at Villa, Billy Sharp scoring 3 2-yard goals in that game. This was very different. This was much more individualistic and great stuff from Bamford, who now has 6 goals in 6 Premier League games and a goal every 82 minutes of Premier League football. Wow, is all I can say about that. And the numbers bear it out. Look, 60% possession in Leeds' favour, 27 shots and 20 shots inside the box. 3 big chances apiece would intimate that although Leeds did, in the general pattern of the play, win this game fairly handsomely, in terms of the big chances, they played the penalty box as well. Obviously, Bamford was outstanding, particularly with the second 2 finishes. And they managed to stop Grealish on 2 particular occasions where it had opened up for him, and Ailing clears off the line once and Meslier makes the save. So not only did they win the general battle, they won the penalty box battle as well, because often we see teams win the general battle, lose the penalty box battle, and someone has one decent chance and wins the game, don't they? That didn't happen. It's a great win for Leeds. The rivalry between these 2 continues now, hung over from that brilliant 3-2 Smith and Bielsa, and then the weird old kind of dead rubber game where Click had the goal that went in, and then Bielsa allowed Villa to score to equalise what he deemed an unfair goal. All of that's under the bridge now, and the rivalry continues in the Premier League, and Leeds have struck first and got the victory over Villa. Can Villa return the favour late in the season? Great stuff from both teams, we have to say, over this start of the season. Villa, I think, when we did the tables at the end, still up in 3rd. Leeds move up to 6th. The good news for the dearly departed, both teams look very, very viable in terms of being competitive in that middle part of the table. When I say that, I don't say that as any insult, but we would still ultimately expect the big hitters that have had that Champions League money over the years to make up the top places. But we wouldn't expect Leeds and Villa to be anywhere down the bottom. And in most games, they should be competitive. So for both, it's been a very encouraging start. Well done, Leeds. Brilliant win. And hats off to Bamford. What a hat-trick that was. Outstanding stuff. Last night, as you can see, there I was, talking into my computer again, as I do most days, most of the day. During Brighton 1, West Brom 1, you can see at the point I paused the stream there, it was actually Brighton 1, West Brom 0. So you can see what the game state was there. If you want to see my reactions to either of the goals and some good chat at the end of the game, actually, and always at half-time, really good conversation, actually, about supporters and expectations at half-time, go and check that video out. Good fun. I'll give my Prayseed version of it now. That is Neil Mopai in the first half. It had been fairly even for the first sort of 15 minutes or so. That is the dictionary definition of a big chance there. No pressure on the shoot. A nice angle. Should be 1-0 to Brighton. And it was 1-0 to Brighton later on in the half. Tariq Lamptey there. He's kind of got in from a deflection. He's going to square that, and then it's just disaster after that. You will see if Ivanovic leaves that ball, it's going to roll behind him and go safe. He's not to know that, obviously. He's just going to try and clear his lines. Sadly, look where Jake Livermore is and look at the foot Ivanovic has gone at the ball with. He's going to kick it right into Livermore's face. And sadly, Mopai wasn't going to get it. If he rolls Mopai, he can clear it. But wrong choice, wrong place, wrong time, wrong decision, wrong everything. Bad own goal there. And probably reasonably in keeping with the run of play, Brighton take the lead. Into the second half, and we have to give Slaven Bilic some credit. He takes Grady Diangana off. Diangana wasn't happy, as you'd imagine. In came Kyle Edwards and Callum Robinson, which meant Matt Pereira could get into the middle. Kravinovic went to sit, and they were just wholly less stodgy and had a bit more attacking verve. They'd started the second half well, and it's a really good fight back in the end by West Brom. Kravinovic had a long range of Pereira. I say long ranger from the edge of the box. Who's the Brighton keeper? Matt Ryan saved that one. Pereira had one wide of the post, and then this one, look at that. You can see Pereira on the edge of the area just peering around. That looks like Pascal Gross. And it's just going to clip the outside of the post. They were getting there. They didn't force the big chance until Kravinovic played that one nicely into Robinson. Cross early. Webster, bit of a lazy leg, wafted at it. Good touch by Carlin Grant to come inside. And look where he's going to put that. He's going to slam that one into the top of the back of the net for the equaliser. And I think it was deserved, really. Brighton sat in a little bit. I didn't necessarily sit behind the ball and, just say, come at us. But it was certainly West Brom who were the more active and Brighton who were the more passive in the second half. And fair play to Bilic for that substitution. Lots of rumours that Bilic isn't a happy bunny, by the way. I think Higazi may be released to Qatar or Saudi or Dubai or Abu Dhabi or something under his nose. And he's not happy. So more on that if and when it transpires. There are the numbers. 51-49 to West Brom on possession. 9 shots to 5. 3 each on target. 6 corners to 2. The one big chance to 0 in Brighton's favour. Big chances are revealing, but I sat and watched all an hour and a half of this. And I will say that, in my opinion, my eye test says fair point for West Brom. And from 45, 50 minutes, they were the more active and Brighton were the more passive there. I'd probably be a little bit disappointed if I was a Brighton fan that there wasn't more of a push to get the second goal and knock over what is, if you look at the table, a direct rival. So West Brom, as I say, we'll look at the table at the end. They're competitive and they're getting points. They've now got points in 3 games. They haven't got a win yet. But if you're a Fulham and Sheffield United fan, you would like to have scored points in 3 games rather than what we're going to look at for them. So well done, Bilic. Well done, West Brom. Still need that win, but showed fight, showed spirit. The manager showed his chops with the substitution. And they showed a good attitude and a good fight, as I said, to get back to 1-1 in that one. Next up, as you can see there, Liverpool, the champions, 2. Sheffield United 1. And this is going to be another tale of me making excuses for Sheffield United and calling out mitigating factors in their games. We talked about a John Egan red card against Aston Villa. We talked about a game against Leeds being tight and not quite going for them. We talked about being asleep against Wolves, conceding 2 goals early. We talked about David Luiz, tug on the shirt there. We talked about Mitrovic missing a penalty and all of the mitigating factors there. Sorry, it's talking about first points. Both Fulham and Sheffield United have got their first point. Of course, they did against one another. So please forgive me in the comments for that factual inaccuracy earlier in the show. But I'm freestyling as we go. We're going to talk about mitigating factors again in terms of one missed chance and one possible missed penalty again for Sheffield United. But they're not picking up points. They're losing these games. We can call out all season things going against them. They need to turn the tide here, don't they, Blades? They're still trying to cope without Jack O'Connell. You can see there he tried Jack Robinson, Chris Wilder. Doesn't seem to want to do that. Ender Stevens again coming in as left centre-back there. Keep your eye on Stevens at left centre-back when we talk about Liverpool's second goal, though. Osborne comes in as wing-back ahead of Stevens with Baldock the other side as ever. Lundstrom and Perdue in midfield with Sander Berger, who does seem to be playing well. Still, though, no Fleck, no Norwood starting in that midfield. Up top, McBurney and Brewster. So no Billy Sharp, no Dave McGoldrick, no Ollie Burke up top there. He's still trying to figure out maybe a best configuration or maybe he's just going to keep rotating it through the season. But I'm sure when he finds something that gives him a win, Chris Wilder, I can see him sticking with it, let's just say. But a lot of different permutations used so far. Liverpool there without Virgil van Dijk, famously. I'm sure you're sick of hearing about it. But Alisson comes back in the goal. Fabinho and Gomez, the 2 centre-halves there. keep an eye on Fabinho as well. Wijnaldum, Henderson, the two brilliant fullbacks there, Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold. And Sadio Mane, Roberto Firmino, Mo Salah, Diogo Jota starting the game. And here is Fabinho playing at centre-back, not covering himself in glory. I am told in the commentary that the law states if your foot is on the line and you are fouled, the line is the penalty area. Outside the line is outside of the penalty area. So that is the law. That is the demarcation. Therefore, if that is a foul by Fabinho, which I think we agree it is, and Ollie McBurney's foot is on the line, then that is a penalty. It went to VAR. And I must admit, I haven't checked the wording, so I'm assuming the commentator, whoever it was on Sky there, is correct. Then that is a penalty. And up steps the excellent Sander Berger. See their right foot sends Alisson the wrong way. You can see the ball there just nestling low to the goalkeeper's left. 1-0 Blades at Anfield. Good so far, okay? Then there is Ollie McBurney. There is pressure from Trent Alexander-Arnold, but when you see where this shot ends up, he pulls it past the far post. So it wasn't the sort of pressure that narrowed the angle to the point that he had to shoot straight at Alisson. So he still could have gone for the near post. He could have gone for the high, quick one. Could have gone through the keeper's legs. It's a decent chance that, and he probably should at least be working the keeper, hitting the target, all of those things. This is at 1-0 to the Blades. Then, this is going to wind up all of the Sheffield United fans because we've seen loads and loads of these given. So this is, I can't see who the Liverpool player is. Is it Joe Gomez? I can't tell, I'm sorry. Wijnaldum's in the way there, I'm trying to read it. Berger, you can see, has knocked the ball past Gomez, and you can see there Gomez's knee or calf is making contact with Berger's knee or calf, and Berger is going to go down. Now, in terms of physics, is it enough to knock the guy over? No, but that's not the standard that penalties are given by, are they? We see over and over again, player, and actually everywhere on the pitch, not just the box, player draws contact or a position where contact could be made. Contact is made, player goes down, foul is given. So, look, we have seen those over and over again given. So, look, I know lots of people argue, was the contact proportional enough to give to knock the player down? No, but let's look at the consistency. Are decisions like this often given as fouls? Yes. That's more what we're looking at. Again, I'd need to read the rules on a foul, but there looks like contact and a potential impediment there, and it's not given. So, Sheffield United once again go 1-0 up in a game here. They miss a very decent chance with McBurney. They could have got a second penalty as well at 1-0, and now they're going to go on and lose this game. So, hair tearing out territory because up the other end, crossed in, I think, from Henderson. You would expect a player of Sadio Mane's brilliant quality to score from there, but he doesn't. Ramsdale makes the save. Unfortunately for him, it goes straight to Roberto Firmino, who has, the dictionary definition again of a big chance there. No pressure on him. Open goal from 3 yards. 1-1. Could have been 2-0 the other way, couldn't it? By God. And in the second half, we mentioned, didn't we? Ender Stevens now is playing. Ender Stevens is a very good player, but he's a wing-back moved into centre-back. And look, in the air, losing out to Diogo Jota. There, it's a really good header, actually. Ramsdale's pretty well positioned. Jota is going to stick that right into the side netting. Is it fair? I don't like to dig out players. Is it fair of me to say Jack O'Connell is not going to lose that challenge in the air? It's probably not fair of me to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. And I'm sure a few Blades fans were thinking the same thing. So there you go, 2-1 Liverpool. And looking at it, I mean, if we take the game state out of the equation, because the stats never recognise at what point in the game things happen and what consequence the thing happening would have had at that point, if you understand what I'm saying. because those big moments for Blades both happened at 1-0. And the stats don't take into account that, do they? They just say 62-38 Liverpool, 17 shots to 13, 5 on target to 2, 7 corners to 3. I suppose the big one there is 5 big chances to 2. And obviously one of the Blades' big chances there is the penalty. However, I'm looking at the game state and I'm saying at 1-0, if you can go 2-0 up, it really changes your starting positions, your defensive positions, your confidence, all of those things. And if you're a Sheffield United fan, you're thinking, when is one of these games going to go for us and when are we going to win? But look, it's away at Liverpool. Liverpool are brilliant, aren't they? Their front players are crazy good. And it's very competitive and they could have gone 2-0 up. But looking at it completely black and white, which I know some people do, they didn't win. They lost. McBurney didn't score. Berger didn't get the second penalty and they've lost, which is going to be very frustrating for Sheffield United. But, and I'm saying this week after week, and I'm afraid I can't say this so much for Fulham as I can for West Brom, who are literally not in the relegation zone, and for Sheffield United. There's plenty of signs that Sheffield United are competitive, and as I always say, 2 things will happen here. Either the performance level will maintain, things will start to go for Sheffield United in tight games and they'll start to get some points. Or the performance level will maintain, Sheffield United are not good enough and there won't even be these moments and they'll continue to lose. I would suspect, given all the evidence of seeing Chris Wilder's Sheffield United and the squad, and we haven't mentioned Brewster as well, added in there, that surely there would be an upward trend from where we are at the moment with only 1 point from the first 6 games. But let's see what happens. But if you're a Sheffield United fan, you really want, I don't know, something to go your way, a dodgy decision to go against the other team, a lucky goal to go in for you, a tight game to go in your favour. It's not happening, is it? And Sheffield United still search for the first win. And still searching for their first win is Fulham. Fulham. Use the English language correctly. Fulham 1, Palace 2 there in the Roy Hodgson derby. Roy the boy turns up and really wasn't more comfortable than 2-1 suggests. There's a red card for Abubakar Kamara and it's a Cairney Weldy at 2-0 that brings it back to 2-1. 2-1 is 2-1, but we can look at the game state as we go. There are some mitigating factors that says maybe Fulham were a touch unlucky with some finishing not going their way. But again, like we said about Sheffield United, they've lost 0 points, sadly, again. Fulham 4-3-3 this week, another week, another permutation. Areola, Robinson, Reeve, Adarabio and Aina is, I think we saw a back 3 last week and wing backs. All change yet again. That accommodates Lamina to start in midfield with Anguissa and Cairney. Lookman, which I'm a big advocate of that decision. He's looked great with Mitrovic and Loftus-Cheek. But again, look down at the bench. Ruddock, Bryan, Odoi, Harrison Reed, Bobby Reed, all pivotal in getting Fulham promoted last season. And Scott Parker really, really is looking to find his team. He's now used up 6 games doing so. Look, they've been more competitive. So there are some signs, but less signs maybe than we've seen at Sheffield United and West Brom. Palace there. Gata, Klein, Koyate, Dan and Mitchell across the back. Townsend, Milivojevic, Riedewald, Schlupp, the brilliant Zaha and Batshuayi up top there. With our championship hats on, there is Eberici Eze coming on 76 there. Let's hope he gets more and more minutes. We loved him in the championship last season. And here is, we already called him the brilliant Wilf Zaha. Comes in off the left-hand side. Look at that. No eyes. Reverse ball. Riedewald, you can see on the move because he's a bit blurry, knows where it's going. And that's exactly where it does go. Brilliant assist by Zaha. And Riedewald slides that in. Areola exposed. You can call it sloppy defending. You can call it a quality player who you should know is going to doing damage in Zaha. And Fulham behind early in the game. That's the thing as well. Can they not last out 15, 20 minutes? Can they not get half time? 0-0 at least. This is the worry with this fragility of defending from Fulham. However, up the other end, that's a difficult chance for Lookman. You can see there wide left of the goal. he hits the base of the post. Maybe Garte has got that one covered. However, this next one, unlucky. Again, it's Lookman coming in off the left, who's been a really good signing, hasn't he? Hits the base of the post. Now, give me your opinions on this, because that is the ball rebounded to Mitrovic. He claims that either the Palace player has touched the ball or the Palace player has kicked his foot at the same time and he misses the chance. However, between those 3 attempts, Fulham coming very close twice, and it is essentially an open goal if Mitro can just get there first to the angle of the ball coming back off the post. So, bad news there. Worse to come, because that has been squared across the box, and there is Wilf Zaha just to tap it in. They create the big chance, and of course it falls to the big player Zaha, who scores for 2-1. Not good there for Abubakar Kamara there. That is Riedwald, and yeah, maybe clumsy. We don't know whether it's malicious or not, but the freeze frame looks no good, and the ref, I think, initially pulled out the yellow card, went to check the VAR, and obviously has looked. And in terms of the wording for serious foul play, we're looking at reckless, careless, endangering opponent. And I think when you look at the freeze frame, and they can tell lies sometimes, the freeze frames, but it doesn't look good with the impact hitting there. I know we saw in one of the watch-alongs Lloyd Kelly for Bournemouth, even higher on the Watford player. I can't quite remember who it was. He got away with a yellow, so swings and roundabouts. Maybe if there was VAR in the Championship, he'd have got a red. Camera gets the red. What a goal by Tom Cairney. How many times have we seen Tom Cairney, 25 yards out, bit of space. You can see he takes a couple of steps. Everyone knows he's going to shoot. Everyone knows it's going into one of the top corners. It's just whether the keeper can get there in time. Smacks it left-footed. Brilliant from Cairney. Look where he's put that. What a goal by the excellent Fulham player, who still has the air of being too good for the Championship, but not quite good enough for the Premier League. Nice to see him getting on the score sheet. Hopefully he can disprove that narrative. Here are the numbers. Let's see if we can draw encouragement from a Fulham point of view. I'm just looking down at the big glaring one that means maybe we can't. But let's go through it anyway. 64-36 in possession. Doesn't matter. It's Roy Hodgson. Really irrelevant there. 16 shots to 14. But look, 3 shots on target for Fulham. 10 for Palace. This is Hodgson. He knows how to win these games. He really does. And he knows how to use the game state. 4 corners apiece. 1 big chance for Fulham. I don't know whether that would be Mitro's, whether they're classing him getting there first. There is pressure on the shooter, but look, there's no one between him and the goal. And it's 8 yards out, middle of the goal. However, 4 big chances for Palace, 2 big chances missed. So there's the worry. We've got to play the penalty boxes, haven't we? And 4 big chances Palace got. So even though it looks more competitive, there's only 1 goal in it. They've hit the post a couple of times. Palace take the big chances. And again, I know I'll get some complaints. I always do. I'm not using big chances as a silver bullet. They're revealing. They don't prove or disprove everything. But I was hoping I would see, oh, look, Palace, couple of big chances. They took both of them. They got the win. But then there's another 2 that they've missed as well. So, yeah, that bothers me from dearly departed bias point of view. I know I say leave your bias at the door, but screw it. It's the dearly departed. There's only 5 teams I'm covering. I want them to do well, for goodness sake. And I need to see more evidence on Fulham's behalf. There, my friends, is the table. And our highest ranking team is still Aston Villa. I know Villa fans will be so disappointed to have been well beaten by Leeds. But if you can react quickly, as Chris Wilder says in the Premier League, react quickly to a defeat, still, game in hand, it can be top of the league there. So let's see how that pans out for Villa. But a first defeat there. But come on, hats off to Villa to be in with a shout of being top of the league if they even get anything from the next game. Maybe even a draw would put them top of the league with the goal difference there. So hats off to Villa, big style. And hats off to Leeds as well, who have been so competitive. 2 defeats to Wolves and Liverpool on the opening day. But very, very viable challenge from Leeds here 10 points there. They did it without Phillips in this game. They've been without Cooper. That's the worry. That if those two players are out for sustained period, maybe they lose another vital cog in there, or maybe 2 or 3 players at the same time. It starts to get hard. But great start by Leeds. Very, very impressed. Very viable challenge. As we go further down the table, we see West Brom there. 0 wins, 3 draws, 3 points. Obviously, we understand that you can score 3 games worth of points in one game at the rate West Brom are scoring them with all draws. But, look, they had the draw against Chelsea where they were 3 up. Obviously, they conceded a ton of chances in that game and drew 3-3. But they took the point there. They got the 0-0 against Burnley and they fought back here to get the draw at Brighton. So, different ways they've got the points there. All as draws, though. The worry is West Brom are going to have to beat some teams around, that 20th to 13th place mark. Obviously, you can discard the fact that Man City and Man United are in that zone at the moment. They will likely not stay there. But West Brom have had chances to play now Burnley and Brighton. I think we've got a dearly departed derby Monday, a week ago yesterday. I think it's Fulham West Brom. So there you go. Surely one of those teams can go and get the win there. We don't want another unhelpful draw. So West Brom competitive, but I'm sure Slaven Bilic would happily take a defeat in one of those games to swap in a win. Obviously, he'd have 1 more point, so go figure. But do you know what I mean? Just to prove that they can win. They seem to be heading in the right direction. Sheffield United, look, I've talked up the mitigating factors over and over again. As I say, one of 2 things will happen. Either performance level maintains and we're right, things aren't going their way, they'll start to go their way and they'll win. Or this is not things not going their way that's the problem here, that they're not quite there this season. And if that's the case, something needs to change and they need to improve. There's lots of evidence from last season that they will. Down at the bottom is Fulham. That's more worrying, isn't it? I suppose they got the draw, didn't they, at Sheffield United and missed the penalty with Mitrovic into the bargain. That was a big chance for a win, wasn't it? Didn't take it, but as I've said, neither of those teams seem to be in the mode of taking chances to win a game at the moment, do they? I'm worried, I'm worried about Fulham, where the win is coming from. Maybe they can target that West Brom game. We will see. That concludes our dearly departed run through. Let's just give a shout out to our sponsors, www.fanfirst.co.uk, a user-generated ratings system, website, etc. We all love seeing the ratings out of 10 in the newspaper and the algorithm ratings now on sites like SofaScore and Who Scored. They all put them up now, don't they? You can help out with your own ratings. Just go over to Fan First, register your team. Hopefully we'll get some dearly departed teams in there for Matt at Fan First, who is a proper football fan. Don't worry. I've spoken to him on the phone before we did the sponsorship. It's a great website. It's a great bit of fun. I went in and did my ratings for Brighton West Brom last night after watching the game. Why don't you go and do the same? www.fanfirst.co.uk. Register your email, your team. Go and get rating. Rate the players. Rate the teams. Rate the managers. Rate the referees. Even the VAR over there. And the entertainment as well. Loads of fun stuff over at Fan First. Thank you to them. And also thank you to Jay, fan sponsor of the Dearly Departed series this season. Dearly Departed, also known as Ben. Couldn't bear to lose us. Marching on together. And happy birthday, Jay, for tomorrow. Okay, that was Dearly Departed. We'll be back with the next Dearly Departed preview show, which will come out on Friday for round 7 of Premier League games. Do go and check that out. And as ever, thank you for watching. And it's over and out from me. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button and to be notified every time we upload. Ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.